Hello, hello, girlfriends. This is Angela. It is that time. It's that time. It's that time of the evening or afternoon. Thanks for joining in. We're going to get started in just a little bit. And here we go. We have Marciea on here. And we are about to live interview with the amazing homeschool mom out of North Carolina. I have briefly had a chance to chat with Marciea, and so I don't know her a whole lot, but we're going to delve in. Hey, Marciea.
Hey.
We're going to delve in with a woman who found America. Her people found America. Hello. 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 We're going to investigate this a little bit more. We're going to have a great time. All you girlfriends, go ahead and find the link. Go ahead and share it, Marciea. I'm going to share it to a few places. She's going to get it on her homepage. Hey, Angel. If you're on here, tell us where you're viewing us from. Hey, Miss Sheba. Show us where you are. Let us know where you are coming in at live. Where you're in, from what state, what city. We're going to have a great interview with Marciea Pinder, beautiful, beautiful young lady, homeschool mom of 3. Can't wait to hear her story and her journey to bring some encouragement to the homeschool community. Yay! All right, I'm going to share it right here. Give me just a sec. All things good on your end, Marciea?
I see you, I hear you, so I would assume so.
Okay, good deal, good deal. But your volume on your computer, if you have your computer there, just make sure your volume is not on, so it won't be any dinging in the
I get you.
in the background.
So you want me to do this live on my phone and computer?
No, do it live on your phone, but if you have your computer open, just make sure that volume is down so it won't ding, if you get messages or something like that.
Got you.
It won't ding, ding, ding. All right, we're almost ready. All right. All righty. All right. Hi, Tara. Thanks for joining in. Let us know where you are logging in at and seeing us live at. We have Marciea Pinder with us. And so it's going to be a great interview. And here we are. We're going to get started. Got my information, all this stuff. Okay, great. Here we go. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. This is Angela Jordan Perry, and I am turned up to bring you this afternoon's interview with Miss Marciea Pinder. Yay, Marciea! I'm gonna have to get some background noise. All the well, again, I'm Angela Jordan Perry, and it is my purpose-driven life to make a positive impact on thousands of homeschoolers worldwide. That is my desire and my thrive of life. And so we have Marciea Pinder. She is out of North Carolina. Marciea, are you ready to make it happen, girlfriend?
I stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Marciea is 36 years wise. She has been the wife of Terence Pinder for 10 years and the mom of 2 girls, 11 and 6th grade, and 1 son. He is grade 4. Marciea and her husband has been homeschooling for 9 years. They reside in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And Marciea says that her favorite color is black. And what she loves the most is black people, and especially black and brown children, and that's just plain as it can be. So Marciea, I have told Girlfriends with Girlfriends' Guide just a little bit about you. Tell us a bit more about your background and how you actually got started in homeschooling.
I grew up here in North Carolina, so I'm a North Carolina native. My husband is from Miami, so he's a city boy, meet the country girl. But his family resides there. They're from the Caribbean. They're Bahamians. So they live in like the Miami area and Bahamas. So he kind of met me when he was in the military here in North Carolina. And now he's out the military. So we decided to, start our family. Homeschooling really for us just kind of started as my oldest daughter, who is 16 now, she's in 11th grade. When she was about second grade, um, she was having some issues at school with being able to stay ahead. They didn't like the fact that she was ahead, so they would do things to try to keep her where the class was, if that makes sense. And so, she's always been an avid reader. She read early. She's a math and science girl. So, she just was kind of always ahead, even just as a small child. So I'm not about keeping no kid held back for no reason. So the
Sure, yeah.
teacher, I had asked the teacher if I could buy her own books because at the library where she was going to school at the time, they didn't have a lot of resources, and so the books that they had, they only had like one copy. And she was reading on like a 7th grade reading level at the time in second grade, so she was having to read
Wow.
the 5th grade books. And so, but they wouldn't let her check them out because they had to be there for the 5th graders. So I decided to buy the books myself. And so she would go to school and she would have the books. And for whatever reason, they were upset that it made the other kids challenge themselves because the books she was reading were really interesting books. You're talking Black Beauty and, Swiss Family Robinson, Treasure Island. She was able to read and comprehend those types of books, and the kids wanted to read them too. And so I don't know if you've ever heard of accelerated reader, but if the kids don't pass those little tests and get those dang points, some teachers just have they panties all up in a bunch, girl. So the kids wouldn't pass the test, and so they were upset with the kids trying to read these books. And so they told her she was not allowed to bring the books back. And so my husband was like, okay, Marcy, you just abrasive. You ain't handling it right. Like, you're probably going there. You're probably being loud and boisterous to these people. So let me go. Let me go talk to these people and let me see, because I was ready to bring her home at that point. I felt very comfortable and confident with homeschooling my kid. So he was like, no, our ancestors fought for us to go to public school and they died. And so we need to send our kids to the school. And I was like, well, I'm not really of that whole philosophy anyway, that I thought integration was a great thing, but I'll let you have it. But anyway, he was like, well, let me go talk to these people and let me see if I can reason with them about bringing her the books. Make the long story short, my very sweet kumbaya husband, who can make peace with anybody, could not make peace with this school and called me to tell me, I'm bringing her home right now. These people are crazy. I was like, oh,
wow.
really? Oh, so
Wow.
it wasn't me. He was like, no, they crazy. They're like, she can't never bring no book and she's got to read with it. And I was like, see, I tried to tell you. So literally he went to go try to work it out with these people and literally signed her out the day of and brought her home. We had no plan. We hadn't bought nothing. I was like, I'm going to bring her home, make a plan. We'll homeschool next year. But he was like, no, she ain't going back ever, like ever. So that was how we started.
Wow.
That's how we started.
Okay. So it all started with your first one. So where you had when she was in the second grade, so you didn't have your other ones then. Okay. Now you didn't have any others.
Yeah, my middle child was born. She wasn't in school yet. She was still like a toddler. So she was still at home. She wasn't even preschool yet. She may have been 2, maybe, so, and 2 or 3 or something like that. So, and then William was he was the bun in the oven. So he was the bun in the oven. He had, actually had just been born. So I was like a mom of 3 with a newborn baby when I decided to homeschool. So that was what it was.
It can be done. So tell us, how was it? You didn't have anything. You weren't really prepared, and mentally you were prepared because you felt confident you could do it. So tell us, what was it like when you first got started? Like, okay, here we go, first day of school, let's do it. What did you do? What did it look like?
Well, I just let her desensitize from school. Hey, Shatona, girl, how you doing? Okay, so what we did was I just let her kind of digress from school. And we came home, we just did some fun stuff. and we just kind of kept it cool until I could get everything ordered and get it in. So it took about 2-3 weeks to get stuff in and to, be able to get everything in so we could start our first day. But when we finally got our stuff in and we started our first day, my oldest, even though she's a teenager now, and I was just complaining to you about her and what she was doing, she really is an easy kid to homeschool. Like, she is very self-motivated. She is she doesn't need a lot of pomp and circumstance. She's very kind of black and white with stuff. Like, she's not that kid that needs worksheets with pictures on it, and color. You could just give her a plain typed up worksheet and she can just do it. Like, she doesn't need the extra stuff. Now, my middle child, she is not like that at all. She needs color and butterflies and glitter and sparkles and all that stuff on it. And but no, she's not like that. She's very just kind of basic and just give me the facts, let me move on. We don't have to hit this up for 2 weeks if we don't need to. But if she does find something she's very interested in, then we stay on it for a little while she's super interested. So but no, so we just hit the ground running with our basic math and our science and all the subjects that we, that she was interested in doing. And that's how we started our first year. And it was like in February. Literally, we started homeschooling in the middle of the school year. So I took her out the very first week of February. So I was,
Wow. Now, you have said a mouthful. I'm just like, okay, I want to talk about this and this and this. You have got to clarify for us, for our girlfriends. So all you girlfriends, if you like what you hear, please give thumbs up. Let Marcy know, you give her some love, give her hearts. Let us know where you coming in, seeing us live at. Give her some hearts, thumbs up. But we're going to ask these questions. Listen, you said, your statement was, you never thought integration was a great thing anyway. In the public schools. Unpack that for us. Just to say it clearly. No.
Very clearly, I've always found that our people do better being taught by our own, because there's a certain agenda that comes from your own culture. Like, I'm not upset that white folks teach their kids the way that they do. The founding fathers, patriotism, that makes sense. That's their history. It's not mine. While y'all were fighting for your freedom, my people were slaves or Native American, like that wasn't our circumstances. So I can't be a cheerleader with you as you're reveling in Thomas Jefferson and him writing the Declaration of Independence. I'm sitting there like crazy. So what I mean by that is this. I feel that the civil rights leaders had a great, the point, I get it, but the implementation of it is what I disagree with. I don't think that we should have been fighting to sit at the same table. I think that we should have been fighting to have our own table with the same 4 legs that they have, so that way we can educate our children the same way that they educate their children, with good materials, with a nice building, with equal access to stuff, not to be held back and given old books and all of our kids just sitting in one room, like that kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. I feel like what they should have been fighting for was equality as far as access to things. And it never makes sense to, if you know these people at the time do not like you, they're not for you, they're not for your brown kids, they're literally lynching your people, they're killing your people, they don't want you to be with them, why are you going to send your kids to them to teach them? And if you do, what you think they're going to teach them? Not about love of themselves. Not about that, if they get the truth at all, if they hear about themselves at all. So I'm like, look, that was just, I know they meant well, but I just feel like I'm a Malcolm X girl. That's crazy. Like, there is no way I'm going to be fighting to send my kid to the man to have them teach my kid. That just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So that's just what I mean when I feel like integration was probably, because we were still teaching our own, even in slavery. Like, let's just be clear. Yes. Like, we weren't no dumb people. Yes. We were coding. We were the first coders. Let's be clear. We coded in blankets. Before computers, we coded with them stars. So I'm like, look, we are smart people and we can learn how to make it on our own. And I feel that even in slavery, integration was the worst thing that ever happened to Black people, because in the process, the Black teachers that were in the Black schools became unemployed. You had now kids at the mercy of, you don't know what they're being taught. You don't know what they're being told. You don't know how their self-esteem is being molded. You're subjecting them to PTSD on a daily basis by getting spit on and people yelling things at them. And it just, for me, it won't worth it. I was like, no, I'm good with staying with my own people. We gave up the Negro League to integrate. Like, we had our own booming business with all the talent, but we gave it all up to get one person in Major League Baseball. Like, that, to me, it wasn't worth it. Like, I'm just like, we should have just kept the Negro League and kept our schools and kept our HBCUs and just rode with that. Like, our schools were good. But we need to stop trying to please white folk and be with them in order to feel like we've become successful. Like, I don't know why I need an Oscar to feel like I'm validated as an actress when the Image Awards or the NAACP Awards should be enough for me. You get what I'm saying? So,
oh, yes, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And the interesting thing about that, Marcia, in all honesty, it only dawned on me. I knew that for my purpose of wanting to homeschool my kids was to make sure they are well educated, number one. Number two, there was no holes left. Number three, there weren't going to be any labels put on. Number four, they weren't going to be held back. Number five, I can just make sure I, focus on what's going to be instilled in them. But it was not until lately or recently, within the last year, that I even thought, I don't know. I really don't believe integration of schools were the best thing for us, because when that happened, then our kids became, labeled, like all those things I just mentioned to you, or pushed to school and not educated. And though I honor and respect those who fought and made it happen and all that they went through to do that, at the same token, I think that it really did set us back as a people in a lot of ways. Now, have many of us catapulted forward and strove, have made great strides? Yes, in spite of all of that in public school.
We're going to do well wherever. I mean, let's just be clear. Right. We are a remarkable people. Wherever you set us up, we're going to do well. You take us out of Africa, you bring us to America, we're going to make this soil pop. Like, we going to do what it do. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel like it was worth subjecting our emotional stability, our children's self-esteem, none of that. I don't personally feel like it's worth it.
I am starting to feel that same way. I really do. I really do. So you also said something else. I wrote, you said, digress from school. You had to, when you brought your baby home from public school, unpack what you mean when you say you all took some time to digress from school, because though I understand that, tell us, give the girlfriend some clarity on what you're saying.
So what I mean is that, we've all probably been to public school. We know what it means. You have to wait your turn. You've got to raise your hand. You've got to ask permission to eat, to go to the bathroom. You have to wait for everything. And then you always too have to, there was an incident one time that happened at school with her. That's like my biggest thing. It was really a lot of things kind of coming together that was really pissing me off about school, that I was really kind of researching this whole homeschooling thing. So the same year, my daughter was in school and she had raised her hand to use the bathroom. And the teacher was like, well, it's not the designated use the bathroom time. So you're going to have to wait, you're going to have to hold it. And so my daughter couldn't hold it. So what happens? She pees on herself. Now, my daughter hasn't peed on herself since she was probably 10 months old. That girl has been potty trained. She was an early potty trainer. She's been using the bathroom, has never wet the bed. That girl's been potty trained since she was 11 months old. She's been walking since she was 10. And she gonna wait to get to second grade to pee on herself? Really? So I was not with it. And so I'm like, I don't like that whole, I gotta wait till everybody else go use the bathroom so I can use the bathroom, and I gotta eat when everybody else eat, and I gotta raise my hand and wait my turn if you get called on at all. So, I grew very frustrated with that whole thing. So I wanted to get her out of school and get her out of school mindset. I wanted her to know that we could have conversations. I wanted her to know that we could explore, that we don't have to be set to a timetable. We ain't got to do math at 9 o'clock. It don't have to be over in 30 minutes. It's whatever time you need. And for her, it was really good. And also she's a kinesthetic learner, which is not typical. I ain't gonna say not typical for a girl, but you typically find boys are more tactile and more, they need to move. Yasmin, my oldest, will seriously get in the couch, put her back on the seat, hang upside down, put her head on the floor, balance herself, and read upside down. Like, that's the kid I'm trying to send to public school. It's not going to work for her. Like, she just needs to move, and that whole needing to move thing, you have to sit still, you have to raise your hand, you have to wait your turn, you can't talk out of turn, was really setting her up for failure. My middle child could do well with that. She's a very sit still, I can wait and raise my hand and wait my turn, but Yasmin's not that kid. So she needs to feel something. Every time she learns something, she needs to have some tangible item at the end of it that she can see the fruits of her labor. Because otherwise, if we learned about, I think when we learned about Queen Victoria and we talked about the that little building that she made that was all glass, we did a small replica of that, because I can't, if she doesn't have something at the end of it, she's like, what? Why did I do this then? So for her, it's not worth it. She can't put her energy in stuff that she doesn't see an end result in it. So school doesn't necessarily do that all the time. Like, you might get a quiz or a test or something, but they're not going to do projects for everything that you do. But being home, she's able to do a project for every single thing that she's interested in doing something in. So that was good for her. But yeah, digressing, we had to get out of that Eurocentric mindset. It was like, no, we don't have to do that. No, that's not the truth. Columbus, that ain't how it went down. So, I had to go back and re-clear some stuff up. And that's just kind of what I mean when I say kind of get out of school mode.
Gotcha. I got you. That's very good. Good point. Let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit more too, because that's real good information too. The beautiful thing about homeschooling is that you have the freedom to create what it looks like. I mean, you're not, I guess, and every state is different. South Carolina has some laws that North Carolina does not have, or Georgia, etc. What other non-traditional things that you implemented in your homeschool that has made you like the proudest? Like the epitome, this is it. If I only homeschool for this is it. What is that?
For all of my children, the main reason I homeschool is for them to find their passions. Their dad and I have always said that if you end up doing your career in life is your passion, you'll never feel like you ever worked a day in your life. So a lot of us are just caught up in careers and jobs that are not our passions. It literally took, me and my great self marrying my husband before I helped him nurture himself to understand, well, sir, you've been in sales for like 20 years and you don't enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, why are you there? He was like, because I'm 40 something now. Like, why am I switching careers at the age of 40? Who does that? I'm like, a confident black man with a confident black woman who gonna help you study for them certifications, and we're gonna go get that. That's what we're gonna do. And so I was like, well, look, we need to figure out what you love doing. And he was like, I've never thought about what I love doing. I just love providing for my family. And I was like, but sometimes providing for your family ain't giving you joy. Watch Fences, and that'll tell you. So we sat down and we talked about that thing, and he went and got certifications, and what he loves is computers. He loves putting stuff together. He loves tinkering around with the systems. And so I told him, I said, look, you don't have to go back and get no bachelor's degree. Like at 40, it may not be smart to go back and get a 4-year degree and get $40,000 worth of debt. But in that particular field, if you get a certification in different software and stuff like that, like that's just as good as a degree. So he went and studied for those things, and he got a couple of those, and he wouldn't leave his job. And I was like, well, but this is what we had planned. But he was so in this American and scared black man mindset that I can't just switch careers because I can't uproot my family. And what if this doesn't work and I have job security? And I was like, well, I'll tell you this. We have prepared, we have prayed, and we've told the Most High what we want. And at this point, you either gonna leave or he gonna kick you out. And it won't 2 months. And that man had lost his job because they were downsizing, and they just completely eliminated his position. And I was like, well, there you go. I said, it's time to go get that job. So that's what he did. And now he's happy. And the kids get to see him happy.
Wow.
I'm happy because I see him happy. And so we homeschool to try to help our kids figure out what their passions are. Now, my son, the only thing he knows is he just wants to be a superhero. So right now he's in superhero mode. And so that's all we know. My middle daughter is tinkering around with, she knows she likes to write, she likes to create, she likes to come up with stories. And so she's thinking of transitioning that into possibly screenwriting. She's not sure for plays or TV, movies, but that's kind of where she wants to go. And then my oldest, the reason why I knew it worked to do with the other two was I just saw her light up. So the biggest thing I loved implementing was actually STEM before it was popular. Like before STEM took off, I implemented STEM stuff at home. And she was able to figure out that she liked that. She liked robotics. She liked engineering. She liked science and math. And from there, we were just able to do that. And so now she's been very confident since like 6th or 7th grade, knowing specifically, not that she.
Uh-oh, let's see. Marcia. Let's see. Seems like her screen is frozen for a minute. Let's see. She'll come back on here. But anyway, we are with Marciea Pinder, ladies, girlfriends. We are with Marciea Pinder. She is out of North Carolina, homeschooling mom of 3. Looks like her screen is. But she is, oh my goodness, she is putting it down. Truth. Yes, we have lost her, but we'll get it back. Let's see here. She is putting it down. She's on fire. Good information, ladies. You all give her a thumbs up, give her some hearts, and if she's telling the truth, you post it. Tell her, girl, you telling the truth. Okay, she says I'm back. All right, let's see if I can load her back in here. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Yes. Here we go. See if we can't load her back up here. Alrighty. Thank you all for being with us. And again, this is Angela with Girlfriends That's Guide to Homeschooling. And we have our special guest today. Let's see. See if we can get us back rolling here. Make sure we're set with Marciea. Okay, Marciea. All right, if you all hear me, give me some thumbs up. Let me know that you all can hear me or exactly what's going on that end, because I cannot tell what is going on. It just looks like I see live. Can you all hear me? Can you all see me? Okay, let's see. It is not liking to add her right here. All right. All right, girlfriends, can you hear me up here? Let me know if what's going on. What can you see? What can you hear? Yeah, so I got some thumbs up, so I'm guessing you all can hear. All right, let's see if we can't get, you can still hear me. All right, you're still here. Let's see what happened to Marciea. You can still hear me. You can still see me. All right, let's see. View to broadcast. This is not over. We're going to bring back Marciea in just a moment. Yes, we are. And if you all have some specific questions you all like to ask Marciea, I think I can get her. Let's see. If you have some specific questions, go ahead and be sure to post those down in the comments section. And I will go ahead and ask her as time permits. But she is doing a great interview. Great, 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 great. You can hear me. All right, let's see if you can get in here now, lady. I have no clue what has happened here. Marcia, you can hear me. I'm trying to get you back in here, Marcia, so hold on just a second. Let's see if I can do anything from computer, Facebook. Not sure why it just kicked us out, separated us. There we go. Approve. Yes, I think we're back on here, girlfriends. Woohoo! I think we're straight. All right, let's see. All right, girlfriends, there we go. Hey, Marcia, I'm not sure what happened there. That's the first time that
the devil don't want us to be great.
It's all right. We are. It can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. All right, let's go ahead and let's dive on. We're coming to the end of our show, so let's go ahead and dive into some deeper questions. These can be quick, short, to the point questions. But the first question is, go back and think through your homeschooling time now, these years you've been schooling. Think of your worst day that made you almost want to quit. But you didn't, and that's why you're the amazing homeschooling mom you are today. You're getting it done.
Yeah, it would probably be something with my oldest, because she is the sweetest thing. She's like my spirit child. Like, I feel like our spirits are intertwined. Wow. And so my mood is severely affected by her. The other two, not as much. I don't know why, but that oldest one, me and her, like, the spirits, like, so when she is off, I'm off too. And I'd be like, oh, girl, you are getting under my skin. And sometimes she's so not like me. We're the exact opposites. I'm super boisterous and loud and outgoing. And she's like sweet and, the all-American girl, and she's passive, not very, she's not going to fight for a whole lot of stuff. I'm the fighter, but she's like a lover, she's a lover. And so when she gets into her thing and her funks, she can stay there for so long. And I'm just like, girl, God woke you up today. Ain't nobody got time to be in no depression today. Like, it's a whole new day. You was upset yesterday. You still upset today about yesterday? Girl, bye. Like, the good Lord put breath in your body. So I'm like, let it go. I'm all ready for a new. I could have a bad day and wake up the next day and I'm good. And she's still there looking crazy. And it just works my nerves. And I just be like, I don't know if this is worth it, because my blood pressure is going to go up. It's like her education or my blood pressure. I don't know what to do. And I'm very short-tempered. And if my voice even slightly raises, tears are coming, and I have wrecked her whole inner core being, and I feel like the worst mother ever. Yeah. Like, auntie has to come and save the day. She has to come and talk to her or me and tell me to get my life together. I can't yell at the baby. Or I got Angel talking about, oh, those sweet babies. And I'm like, no, you have no clue, girl. She was sitting here trying it. But yeah, no, I think if I've ever gotten to those moments, the other two, they're still in that mode of mommy's right about everything. And so they just kind of listen education-wise right now. And she used to be that way. Mm-hmm. They haven't tried it yet. But she is just trying it with me right now. Like, she doesn't want to listen. She's very, and it's not a bad thing, she's very inclusive of everything. She thinks everybody means her well. And the fact of the matter is, it's very hard for her to accept things that she's learning about people, about our country, about history that she was told that ain't necessarily true no more. And it just is like, but mommy, I don't know. And I'm like, girl, no crying. Girl, you are empowered. You have been delivered. You know the truth. And she's like, no, but do all these types of people or whatever we're talking about at the time, she's like, well, do they do me any harm? I'm like, no, not necessarily. You just have to give everybody the individual opportunity to show you who they are. But in a gist, when a group of people show you who you are, you just be reserved. just to see first, because they have shown and proved they like to conquer, that they don't like our people. Most of us will sell us up the river. So just understand that that's what you're getting if you choose to allow a certain group of people in your life. It's just what it is. So she's very sweet in that essence, but it really works my nerves because I want her to be like what I call super ethnic like me, and she just really is. She's got ethnicity and she loves her culture, but she's very like, I want to include everybody in it too. I'm going to invite everybody to the HBCU, and I'm like, that wasn't where I was going with that, but okay.
Side eye.
But yes, this complete side eye. She get both eyes, but yeah, no, she's very sweet. But I would say if it was a worse day, it had something to do with her. I'm quite sure.
Bless her heart, bless her heart. So when you have those days, what's your mantra? What is the mantra that keeps you going? I already know that you're committed to this. This is where you know your kids have to be. What's your mantra that you have to, your self-talk, Marciea?
My mantra is the same. I said whatever I would tell Black people why they need to be homeschooling their Black children is, why am I going to let the oppressor educate my child? At the end of the day, I'm white knuckling it with her some days, but at the end of the day, with her mind in particular, who's very, very impressionable, even at 16. I mean, like, you would think a lot of people start to hold true to some type of theology or philosophy, even around those ages, to get very, headstrong about stuff. She's still very like she goes with the wind. She's not very sure about a lot of things. And I feel that if with the wrong evilness, with the wrong agenda, she could be led to believe these crazy things that end up like a Ben Carson or an Omarosa. And I ain't having it, honey. I am not having it. Ain't no Omarosas and no Ben Carsons up in here. That's just not going to happen. So I have to keep her here in order to make sure that she doesn't end up that way. Because I believe if left to the people, she could be an Omarosa and a Ben Carson travesty.
I hear you. I
keep her home.
Tell us your best piece of advice you have received since you've been homeschooling, as it relates to homeschooling, or just in general in life. What's your best piece of advice you've received?
I tell anybody this, regardless of race, religion, whatever, the best piece of advice I give people is to homeschool with your culture driving it. Like, your kids should understand their culture. Like, you have missed the mark if your kid leaves the house and they don't know who they are. They don't know where they come from. They don't know the stock of which they are. They don't know their ancestors. They don't know how they got here. They don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They don't know where they're going and why, and making sure that they're keeping a family agenda going. Like, even you should know what your family goals are as a tribe, what your mom and dad raised you to be, so that you know what kind of wife or a husband you need to be going to find, so that way they can continue the agenda that you got going on for your family. So it's like, we have too many kids that aren't rooted down. And I feel that homeschooling just affords you that liberty to make sure that your agenda as a family, as a tribe, as a culture, as a group of people is pressed forward. Like, that just only makes sense to me. So even Black people, white people, Asian people, Hispanics, all of them, your kids should know their culture and make it in everything that you do. So, you talking about math, make sure you go find you a Hispanic mathematician somewhere, so see a focus that, look, my people do this, so that's what they need to be seeing. Put it all over your house and make sure that they know that their people exist within everything that they're learning.
It's good. That's good. In your library, in your ownership, what is the one piece of curriculum, or at least maybe two pieces of curriculum, that you think every homeschool home, or particular a Black homeschool home, should have? They need to have this in the home.
I for sure, it's just for show. Now I rides with some Lisa and her stuff. I have felt very liberated as I have found it's www.morashali.com. I'll put it in the comments, after we log off. But our history revealed. I don't care what race of people you are, the truth is in it, and the truth shall set you free. And so whether you are white or black or Hispanic, whatever, Native American history is even in our history revealed. She does a great job with including everything that is considered American history, that it existed before Columbus got here. So there's the pre-Columbian stuff in there. It's just a great curriculum. As soon as I found her in it and implemented it in my home, it has been everything, like everything. My kids are so sure of themselves, being able to articulate themselves. They've been able to, what I call, minister to the neighborhood, because you will not come up on my kids and not learn something in this neighborhood. The neighborhood kids come over to my house, and if they're here and I'm teaching it, like, they get it that day. And it has been great. It's so multi-level. You could teach any grade level of this stuff. And I love it. So our history review, I would say, it should be in everybody's two parts. Actually just dropped today. So if you want to go to her website, you can sign up for the online class. That's self-paced. You just go in there and, you sign up for it yourself. That's awesome. And I would just say a basic, it's not really a curriculum, but the Bible, like, that is, for me, the Bible and history, culture, if that's your particular faith that you subscribe to or whatever, it's got to be part of what you're teaching, because you're home. You have the liberty of doing that. So why not do it? So, we're Bible believers here. So that's what we're going to learn. So It's not necessarily a curriculum, but it certainly is, I would say, a must-have. Whatever it is you want to teach them biblically, you got to have that in the home. So me personally, I just take it back super old school. I don't overthink it. We go through chapter per chapter. We pull out everything and we teach just from the scriptures, and that's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Here you go. All right, well, Marcia, are you ready? Here's the last question, the $1 million question. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, listen. So if you had to go back and do it all over again, but start at the beginning of homeschooling, fresh, all new, but you have your current knowledge, wisdom, skills, and insights, what would you change? Mm-hmm. What would you have implemented? What would your homeschool, what would you have done differently? What would it look like now?
I still feel like, even though I tried to be as cultural as possible, I still found myself with Eurocentric curriculum. And I think I would have implemented, or at least now, it would be then way more cultural. Now I know how to make everything culturally based. I know how to make science and math. I'm teaching my kids about holistic living. We're able to treat ourselves, and we know about nutrition and diet and, just stuff like that. So I just really feel like what I would do differently is make sure that I tried to find more Black people in my area, because I think I still did subject myself to being the only one in groups of stuff, whether it be co-ops and we're the only Black family, or going to church where I was going to church and we're the only Black family. I don't do that anymore. If I go somewhere and I'm the only one, then that's a problem. And so I'm not going to be the only one. So if there's at least not another Black family there, then we're not joining, because I get tired of the foolishness that you got to subject yourself to when you got to speak for all Black people. And I happen to be more Angela Davis like, so my presentation ain't always the most easy to take and swallow, because I don't pull no punches with folk just because they you ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth. So, I've had a lot of conversations with white people and Hispanic people that are super conservative and don't know that they Hispanic and seem to think that they could subscribe to white privilege. And I'm sorry, but you brown just like me. So I hate to break it to you, but at the end of the day, that wall getting built, honey, and you gonna be on the other side of it. So like, those kinds of conversations. And, my kids are often like, oh gosh, why they ask her that question? But, I would totally do something different. I do not subject myself today anymore. I am in a position now where I'm more empowered to help other people's children. So, when people get school age, I can either help them figure out how to homeschool their kids, or I can maybe even possibly at the point now where I can homeschool other people's children for them as well. And so, that's just kind of where I'm at. I wish I would have maybe made it more inclusive so that my kids could have had more of a brown experience within the home. And so maybe I could have reached out to other brown families who couldn't homeschool and just do it here with them. At least if it was another family, I could have had my kids do it with maybe another group of kids. But yeah, like I'm really loving the fact that I'm really stepping into my culture. I know it a lot better than I used to. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to share it with my kids, my native heritage and my African heritage as well. So it's been really good having two really rich and deep cultures that I come from, being able to merge them together, because they're really not that different when you think about it. And you get back to Bible, honestly, it's almost the same people. So, we do stuff, but I love this holistic lifestyle that we're living now. We're eating better. We're able to treat ourselves better without, relying on medicine from the doctor as much. And the friendships that I have found as I've gone into it now, I have a sister circle, have friends that can support me in my homeschool journey, which I didn't have it before. I really kind of stepped into it alone. And the only people I did know that homeschooled were not Black people, because it's not what we did. So, now I have a circle of friends who are brown just like me, and they homeschool too. So I can call and reach out and, get ideas and give ideas and just really feel supported in my journey now. So I'm just really glad about that now. I wish I had that then. So.
Beautiful, beautiful. As we come to the end of the show, this was great, girlfriends. Marcia, just put it down. Somebody kept saying they're falling out. Oh, just put it down. All I could do, I could just snap the whole time. So, Marcia, as we come to the end of the show, what are your last words of advice for us girlfriends? And also let us know how they can reach out and contact you. You have some things going on. Tell us a little bit about that. So that if they want to continue the conversation with you and dig in with some more questions, they can do so. Go ahead, Marcia.
Well, you can always inbox me here on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, so that's where I am. I have an email address at M as in Mary, the number 2, and my last name Pinder @gmail.com. You can ask me any questions there that you like, but don't ask nothing you don't want an answer to. I will preface it with that. I also, let me see. So final thoughts would be, if I had to leave with anything, I would say one of my favorite quotes is by James Baldwin. And he said, a child cannot be taught by anyone who despises him, and a child cannot afford to be fooled. So I would say in anything that you do, whether you're at church, whether you are in the public school system, whether you are homeschooling, like, look, you got to like your children to homeschool them. So all these people complaining about they don't like their kids because a little snow had happened, maybe you got to like your kids. You got to love your kids and like your kids to homeschool because they are with you. That's your free time. So if you send them to school, make sure them teachers like your kid, or don't subject your kid to people who don't like them. And that's anything that they do. A coach, a pastor, a Sunday school teacher, anything. Make sure that you surround your children, especially your brown children, around people who don't care for them and who don't rock with them. That's the worst thing that you can do, because this country is not set up for your kid to be the best that they can be. And so just make sure that you surround them around kids who look like them. Make sure that you show them examples of people who look like them. I hang pictures of just random black folk that ain't in my family just so that they can see black folk. Like, that's just what it is. And I'm like, yep, they black. Celia Cruz is black. Yep, she speaks Hispanic, speak Spanish, but guess what? We all came from the same general area. We just got off on different stops, because that's the next thing I'm trying to debunk in my household, is this mantra of the black Hispanics are different than black Americans. Like, we're all the same people. We just speak a different language. We speak English. The English was our oppressor. The Spanish were their oppressor. But it's the same black folk. So that is like what we're doing this year. Kate, define issues that are going on within your family and try to center a class around it. I never knew that my kids did not know that Hispanic people could be black. And as soon as I figured that out, I was like, oh, shoot, yeah, class. That's a class this year. That's what we're going to do. Did not know that my kids didn't think people in the Bible were brown. Okay, I see I dropped the ball. We're going to learn that today. Yes, we're going to learn that today. So, and just put it all around the house. I got a bunch of black Hispanic folk pictures up in my house, and ain't in my family, but we're going to learn. That's what we're going to do today. But yeah, just expose them to things, expose them to people, allow them to speak for themselves, learn how to articulate themselves, use their words. I always try to tell mamas, stop marrying your sons. Make sure that they're good and can stand on their own 2 feet. Let them learn from dad. He is not your boyfriend. He is your son, and he is going to need to go and marry somebody. Just make sure that he tries to marry somebody with your goals and ideals and your family, like your family goals and where you're trying to press forward. So that way he can go bear you some grandchildren, because he can't make no grandchildren with you. So he got to go find him a good woman and make sure that he has a good woman example, so that way he can go do that. But stop trying to hoard your son. Like, that's one of the biggest things that I've had to learn with having him here, because he is my everything. Like, that boy is just everything to me. And when I saw that my relationship with him was very, what I would say inappropriate, in the sense of I couldn't see him leaving, I was like, oh no, well, that's not what it's supposed to be. He's supposed to go out and be a man and cleave with a woman. So I better be teaching him how to find that good woman, so I like her, you know, so that way we can have a good relationship, and I can bring her in like my daughter, and she can give him good children, and she can continue the philosophy and the examples that I wanted my family and my posterity to go forward in doing, because these girls are going to leave and cleave to another man, and they got their own family goals going on. So, you know, but he's our posterity. And so that's what I've been able to do here in this home. I've been able to show him, you know, what a good woman is through example of me and his sisters. He gets to see his dad wake up every day, go to work. He provides. He comes and brings me raw material, and I make something from it. Like, you can't just bring in material and she can't do nothing with it. So I do something with it. He bring it in. I do something with it. So now, like, literally, that boy gets up in the morning on his own, tries to beat his daddy up before his own daddy get up to go to work. And I'm just like, but honey, that's in essence because of you. He sees you get up. He wants to get up, because that's what men do. That's what he sees his father do. So you are setting a great example for him. And honestly, homeschooling affords all of that. He just gets to see all of that. So don't sleep on homeschooling. I'm trying to tell folks, it is the business. It is the business. It is what to do. If you can do it, I do feel like anybody can do it. It's about what you want to do, even if you work, because I know people who work in homeschool, so that's not even the excuse anymore. So if you don't know how to do it, reach out. Like, I'm here. I can also give you resources of other people that I know who work or make it work from home, and I can just give you good resources. So, like, if it's something you want to do, just let me know. I can hook that up for you and let you homeschool your own children, because it's really where they need to be. That's where they find themselves.
Girlfriends, this girl is on fire. Oh my goodness, Marcia. You have been with Marciea Pinder this evening. Listen, girlfriends, but girlfriends is guide to homeschooling. Listen, you are the average sum of the 5 people you hang around with, and you have been hanging with Marciea Pinder. Oh my goodness, she has put down some bombs here. I'm going to have this information, these quotes, these materials she suggested in the show notes. You can go back and look at them. Marcia, you have been amazing. I mean, I really need to do another show with you because there's so much I could go through. Like, oh, I want to go there, but we'd be up here for 2 hours. So we're just going to have to get you back up here again and dive into some other topics you talked about. Just, yeah, someone said that's another show. And yes, yeah, you took us to another show.
Unemployment. That's another good. I do not mind doing this again. I have gone through. My husband has had bouts of unemployment, and we still managed to learn, homeschool through it. So I've gone through some life struggles, death in the family. I've lost a child, how to grieve and continue to press on while you have a life crisis going on. So there's lots of things I could continue to go into if you want to have a whole new show.
We're gonna have
yes.
We will have you back. We will have you back. Okay. Girlfriends, just remember that to teach a child is to touch a life. And as we homeschool, we not only touch a life, we shape the future through our efforts of homeschooling. So keep making a positive impact day after day, year after year. Find your people to be in your village, to be a part of, do what it is you want to do, okay? You can do it. So thank you again. Again, I'm Angela Jordan Perry with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Please go to our Facebook page and go ahead and like that. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, where every week I'm putting down 3 new interviews. Well, now I'm starting to double up because I got so many people. So you want to be connected to these interviews with these homeschool moms with their different messages, different formats, different flavors, different experiences, and different triumphs and struggles. They're sharing them to encourage you that you can do it. So thank you again, Marcia. You've been great. I so appreciate you, appreciate your heart, and just telling it like it is, girl. Snapping, snapping, snapping. So, all right, so next time, we'll be back on Monday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with another interview. God bless you. Thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day and weekend. Take care.